Why is it you can't say white people? Why can't you say it? And what happens then is that when people hear white people, they're only ever hearing it in a negative context.
Yes.
Only ever hearing it in a negative context. And so when you bring it up and you talk about it, it's like there's this dirty, it's like a dirty, it is the dirtiest word in the English language right now is white. It really is.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that we were getting at was just that I want to point out how insidious it is of groups like Gateway Pundit. Because Gateway Pundit's one, I'm subscribed to their Telegram channel. In a lot of cases, they break stories, or I hear about stories, I should say. They don't break them a lot, but I hear about stories through them that I would never hear about otherwise.
Yeah.
But then every now and then they tip their hand. So they just did it with this thing that happened in Idaho with Patriot Front, where they're going all in on the Fed thing.
With Patriot
Front
they
did it last time, and they really went all in on it. I mean, the abolish the FBI sticker that was on the guy's bullhorn got blown up by Jim Hoft, who is the editor-in-chief of
also gay
Gateway Pundit. Is he gay?
Yeah, he's gay.
Well, he's openly gay. There's a picture of him with Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, I know he's a huge Likudist.
Yes.
But he blew up this picture to say that, like, as if like FBI agents would wear. Now, we all know that's ridiculous, but does the average person reading Gateway Pundit who trusts Gateway Pundit on other things? Because the thing is, they're the only ones who give them the story on the anti-white crime. And that's what I was going to say. What you and I were talking about is they are exploiting. There's two sides to it. They're exploiting the vacuum because our media is all censored off out of existence. I mean, we would have how many views if TRS could just upload videos to YouTube? How many subscribers?
It
how
would
many
be
videos?
Hundreds of thousands.
It would be millions. It would be in the millions. I mean, how many did James Alsop had like 500,000 subscribers?
James Alsop had 650,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, and Mark Collette had a ton, and it's just but again, those guys, and like when Red Ice were still on YouTube, they were treading very carefully.
Even when we were on, we were getting suppressed. Right. And there was even people that told me, like, I watch your videos, but I won't, like, subscribe to your channel. Like, if YouTube was really just anybody could upload videos and use it, like, and, we had been doing it since the beginning, when we started our show, which was, like, almost 10 years ago now. The site was over 10 years ago. The show's been 8 years. Like, we would be one of the biggest accounts in the political space.
We'd be one of the biggest. You would have an account as big as, like, the Young Turks or anything.
Yeah.
And so... But people would avoid a lot of, like I said, like Red Ice, and when James used to be on, would kind of avoid talking about things in a certain way, sort of soft pedal things.
Yeah.
And then even those voices get censored off. So what these media clickbaity sites like New York Post and Gateway Pundit specialize in is giving people what they are desperate for, which is news about the anti-white terror that's out there, news about just how bad the system is. And they do it in a particularly sensationalistic fashion. And it does this double thing where they use it to drive clicks and advertising revenue and to get attention to their thing. And then they also use it to misdirect people away from anyone who's actually trying to do anything. White supremacists or anti-Semites or whatever.
They also use it to cover for and promote like certain, like obviously fake politicians. Right. And Ann Coulter has started a Substack recently, and it's pretty good. Now there's some issues with it. There's certain things she's saying that I'm like kind of rolling my eyes at, but generally speaking, it's good. And she's basically telling people. One of her recent columns was like, "You don't really like Trump. You hate the media."
Can we go through that? That was one of my... I had like 3 things, and you've touched on 2 of them. One of them was also how the conservative thing, because I heard Tucker do the same thing, Mike, the other night. I've been watching his opens, to keep on top of what he's saying. And some of them have been very good. But just the other night, he pulled a real rotten move where he did this thing about all the Hispanics. He was playing up the thing of all the non-whites.
This is their thing. They've been doing. We talked about this yesterday, but that's not the same as Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter is pro-white, and Ann Coulter says she is.
Thing. She's doing the right thing.
She's correct.
I'm tying Tucker.
She's like she
Steve
says
Bannon.
she's
Tucker's
got
doing the
some.
Same thing Steve Bannon
Yes. Steve Bannon and Tucker. They're doing. Ann Coulter is a white nationalist. I'm convinced.
Oh, she is.
The difference is she has like certain shibboleths that she clings to. Like she was talking about Ronald Reagan or something. I wanted to be like, Ann. Ronald Reagan did the first amnesty for 3.5 million illegal immigrants in the 80s. Like he started the ball rolling on this. Come on now, get out of here. But in any case, and she was basically talking about how like Trump never did any of this stuff, and she's sort of blowing the lid off this scheme that they do, off this scam that they do, where they bank on liberals being terrible and people hating them, and then they use that to just direct people behind people that are totally fake, and they give you a little bit of what you want, and they report on some of these atrocious crimes. And like I said, Breitbart was doing this when Katie McHugh was the front page editor of Breitbart. When Trump was running for office, she was putting up all the stuff of all these illegal immigrants and all this crime they're doing, all that stuff. And then of course everyone knows what happened with her. But this is what they do, and then they turn around and they're the most vicious enemies of us and our guys, and they're exploiting this sort of sense of insecurity and even paranoia that the white people who are the targets of this government, that they feel they're exploiting that sense of insecurity and really justified paranoia about the government trying to trick them and fool them. And fuck them over, because the government is trying to do that, and they're exploiting that to make it so they don't trust even people that want to be their friends and want to advocate for them. And so they're trying to draw like a border so nobody else no one else will get to these people's ears or eyes. Only they will. And again, they have to. Thing is, they know what it is that they're gatekeeping, and they know how to. It's really the Gatekeep Pundit, is what it should be called, right? Like the Gatekeep Pundit, because but it's like. But even like, I think, I don't know what happened to Cassandra Fairbanks. I mean, she was there. I always thought she seemed like a decent person. And she stepped up when they were doing this last time with Patriot Front. She actually went out there and said, no, they're not fake. They're not fake. It's actually real. Ian Miles Chong, had a lot of disagreements, but give him credit for saying the right thing on this. He did a Twitter thread where he said, no, you people are dumb. Like, these guys are not fake. There's like all kinds of just basic fundamental logical reasons that show you why they would not be FBI agents and things like that. So